Abandoned. The desert was silent except for the wind. Sand blew across the wreckage of the small scout ship, its metal sides torn and blackened from the crash. Smoke rose in thin streams, curling into the sky like fingers reaching for help. A young woman covered in dust and blood pulled herself out of the wreckage. Her name was Raya. Her arm was burned, her leg twisted, but she was alive. Barely. She looked up. A large ship was flying away in the distance. Her own crew. They were leaving. No, she whispered. Her voice cracked. Wait, don't go. But they were already gone. The sky swallowed the ship. The silence returned. Raya fell to her knees. Her breathing was heavy, her chest tight. Pain shot through her body, but the pain wasn't just physical. They had left her. They knew she was still alive, and they left her anyway. The desert stretched far in all directions. The sky was a dull orange. Strange, tall plants waved in the heat, and far off, something moved, something big. But Raya didn't look at it. She closed her eyes just for a moment. Then she opened them again. She was a soldier, a fighter. Crying wouldn't help. She grabbed a metal pipe from the wreck and used it to support herself as she limped away from the crash. She didn't know where she was going. She just knew she couldn't stay here. 3 hours passed. The sun on this planet was strong. Stronger than Earth. It felt like fire on her back. Her water was gone. Her lips were dry. She stopped under a rock arch for shade. Her eyes burned. Her mind started to drift. That's when she heard it. Beep, beep. A soft sound. Almost like a bird. But it was electronic. Nearby, half buried in sand, was a small recon drone. Broken but still blinking. Raya crawled toward it. It was from her ship. One of the old AI scouts. Unit 05. She said, tapping its side. You alive in there? The drone buzzed, then spoke in a low, static voice. Power. Low. Damage. Critical. You and me both, she muttered. The drone's screen flickered. Then it showed a map. A rough outline. A mountain far to the east marked with a strange symbol. It might be a shelter, or it might be nothing, but it was something to aim for. Can you move? She asked. The drone made a sad whirring noise and floated a few inches off the ground, sparking. Close enough, she said. Night fell fast. The desert became cold. The sky filled with stars, strange and bright. 2 moons watched over her like eyes. Raya built a small fire from dry plants. The flame was weak, but warm. She sat beside it, the drone at her feet, both of them damaged survivors. They left me, she said softly. The drone didn't answer. Captain said we were a team. He said no one gets left behind. The drone beeped once, like a quiet sigh. Raya closed her eyes. Sleep came slowly, filled with flashes. Fire, screams, the moment the ship lifted off without her. She woke with a jolt, the fire now just ash. But something was wrong. She heard movement, soft steps in the sand. Not human. She held her breath. Her eyes searched the darkness. Then she saw them. Glowing eyes, low to the ground, moving in a circle, around her. Silent, watching. The drone beeped, panicked. Hostile, life forms. Detected. How many? Uncertain. Raya grabbed the metal pipe. She stood, shaking, heart pounding. The eyes came closer. She shouted, waved the pipe. The creatures hissed, then vanished into the dark, fast as shadows. Silence again. Raya didn't sleep after that. By morning, her leg hurt worse. She tore part of her uniform to wrap it tight. She drank from a small cactus she broke open with a rock. The drone hovered close, warning her of heat spikes and strange energy readings in the sand. Why here? She asked it. What is this place? The drone showed a message. One word. Forgotten. Raya looked out toward the mountain on the map. It seemed even farther now. But she didn't stop, because something inside her had changed. At first she walked because she wanted to live. Now she walked because she wanted answers. Why did they leave her? What were they hiding? And what was this planet really hiding? The drone floated beside her. Behind them, small footprints followed. Not hers. Something was still tracking them. Raya looked over her shoulder. "Let them come," she said, and she kept walking. The things that hunt, the second night in the alien desert was worse than the first. Raya couldn't tell if it was the cold or the fear keeping her awake, maybe both. She sat with her back against a sharp rock, the small drone buzzing beside her, its lights dim from low power. Her fire was out. She hadn't built one tonight. She didn't want to be seen. Something was out there. She was sure of it now. The eyes she saw last night were real, and they weren't just animals. They were watching her, tracking her, waiting. She held the metal pipe in her hands, her only weapon. It was dented, blood on one end from when she used it earlier. Not on an alien, but on a scorpion-like creature that had crawled into her boot. Even the insects here were trying to kill her. But the things from the night before, they were different. They had intelligence. She had felt it in the way they moved. Slow, careful, silent, like hunters. By morning she had made a plan. The drone, weak but still running, showed her a nearby cave marked on the map. It was less than 3 kilometers northeast. It could be shelter, maybe even water, maybe answers. She started walking at first light. The sun came fast. She tied a cloth around her head to block the heat. Every step sent pain up her leg, but she forced herself forward. She didn't complain. No one was listening. The desert around her was changing. Less open sand now, more rocks, strange black stones with sharp edges that hummed quietly when she touched them. "This planet is wrong," she whispered. The drone beeped. Magnetic activity rising. Caution advised. Great. Haunted desert, and now weird energy. She kept walking. She reached the cave by midday. It was hidden behind a hill of shattered stones. The entrance was narrow, just wide enough for her to crawl through. Inside, it opened into a wide chamber, cold and dark. Walls were marked with strange, glowing patterns. Symbols, like writing, but alive somehow. Moving slowly under the surface, like veins, Raya stepped inside carefully. "Any life signs?" she asked the drone. The drone scanned. None detected. Wait, a sharp screech cut through the air. Raya spun around. The cave behind her was now darker, blocked by something tall. It stepped into view, slow and silent. Its skin was silver blue, thin but armored. Its face had no mouth, just dark, holes for eyes, and it held a weapon that looked like a curved bone. Raya didn't wait. She swung the pipe. The creature dodged fast, too fast. It moved like liquid, sliding along the cave wall, then lunged. Raya ducked, fell, rolled, came up, and smashed the pipe into its side. It shrieked and dropped its weapon. Raya grabbed the strange blade and ran deeper into the cave. The tunnel twisted down into the earth. She ran until she couldn't hear it chasing her anymore. She stopped only when she found a sealed metal door. Deep underground, it looked human. "What the hell?" she whispered. The drone scanned it. Access point. 67% match to human tech. Age unknown. Raya placed her hand on the panel. It lit up green. The door opened with a hiss. Inside was a small room. Dusty. Cold. Filled with old human equipment. Broken tablets, storage boxes, bones. Human bones. Raya's heart raced. Someone's been here before. She found a logbook, half destroyed. The last entry was still readable. "We thought it was just another recon mission, but this place, it watches you. It hears you. We're not the first ones here, and we won't be the last." Raya closed the log. The lights flickered. The drone floated closer to her. "You must leave now." "Why?" "They know you are here." She climbed out of the hidden bunker just before sunset. The alien was waiting outside, but it didn't attack. It just stood there, watching her, weapon gone. Its head tilted slightly, curious. Raya raised the blade she had stolen. "You want it? Back? Come take it." The creature stepped back, confused, afraid. Then it spoke. Not with words, but through the drone. Its voice came out cold and flat. "You should not be here." Raya froze. "You can talk?" The drone translated. "You do. Not belong. The fire-blooded left this place. Now you wake the sand." Raya stepped forward. "Fire-blooded? Humans?" No answer. "What is this place? Why are you hunting me?" The creature turned and vanished into the sand, leaving only one word behind. Trial. Raya didn't sleep. That night either. She sat with the strange blade in her hand, staring at the stars. Her thoughts raced. Someone had been here before. Other humans. And they had died. Just like her crew wanted her to. But she wasn't going to die. Not here. She was going to find the truth. She was going to survive. And she was going to make them pay. In the distance, more glowing eyes appeared. Not one. Not two. A line of them. They were coming again. But this time, she was ready. The Forbidden Tower Rhea was changing. She didn't notice it at first, but something inside her was different now. Her fear was still there, but it no longer controlled her. She wasn't running anymore. She was watching, learning, adapting. Just like the creatures hunting her. The third day began in silence. No wind, no birds. Even the strange insects had vanished. The drone hovered beside her, quiet too. It hadn't spoken in hours, like it was thinking, like it could feel something coming. Raya had barely slept. The stolen alien blade was in her hand. Her grip never left it. She'd cleaned it with sand, sharpened the edge. It hummed faintly when she touched the metal. Not a machine hum, but something deeper. Almost alive. The drone had scanned it. Organic material detected. Unknown tech signature, high energy potential. A living weapon, Raya had asked. The drone didn't answer. They walked toward the mountains shown on the map, and there, at the very edge of the horizon, rising like a black finger from the sand, stood the tower. Thin, tall, unnatural. The drone buzzed nervously. Warning. Object is surrounded by unstable electromagnetic field. Raya kept walking. The closer they got, the colder the air became. Even though the sun was still high, her breath turned white in the air. She saw her reflection in a pool of melted glass at the tower's base. Dirt-covered face, blood-stained suit, eyes wide and tired, but burning with something new. She didn't look like a soldier anymore. She looked like a survivor. The tower's walls were smooth, dark, covered in lines that moved when you stared too long. The door was not a door. It was a gap in the wall, like the structure opened itself for her. She stepped inside. No sound. No echo. The air was thick, like underwater. The floor lit up beneath her feet, each step causing a ripple of blue light. Human presence detected. The tower's voice whispered through the drone. "Initiate trial memory." "Another trial?" Raya said. "What kind of place is this?" The room changed. Light filled the chamber. Floating screens appeared. Images of Earth, of humans, of war. Raya watched in shock. This place, this tower. It had recorded everything. Space battles, ruined ships, missions that were never reported. All hidden from public knowledge. "These aren't just memories," she whispered. "This is a black box. For the galaxy." "It is a warning," the drone said. "The last humans who came here left chaos behind." On one screen she saw a face. Her captain. Young, smiling, standing with another team in the same tower, years ago. "They've been here before," Raya said, eyes wide. "He lied to all of us." Raya moved deeper into the tower. Machines lined the walls, not computers, but organic tech hybrids. They pulsed with light like hearts. In one room she found armor, not human, not alien, something between. The drone scanned it. Adaptive material. Responds to human neural patterns. The armor opened when she stepped near. She didn't hesitate. The suit crawled over her like liquid metal. Cold at first, then warm. She could feel her body healing, her leg pain fading, her strength returning. Her vision sharpened, her hearing expanded. The hum of the tower grew louder in her mind, like it was speaking to her in a voice only she could understand. "This isn't just armor," she said. "It's a key." Then the tower shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. Lights flickered. The drone spun wildly. "Warning, external forces approaching. Multiple signals, not human. They followed me here," Raya said. She climbed the tower's central staircase. At the top she found the core, a swirling mass of energy held in place by rings of floating metal. It looked like a sun caught in a cage. The drone screamed, "With data. This is not just a tower. It is a generator, a weapon, a signal, all in one. A signal to who? Unknown. But it is waking something." Raya placed her hand on the control panel. Vision struck her instantly. Cities burning, alien fleets in orbit, humans running, screaming. Then silence. And at the center of it all, the tower, sending a message across space and time. It was not just a warning. It was a test, and she had passed. Outside, the creatures were gathering, dozens of them, all silent, waiting. They did not attack. They knelt. Raya stepped onto the balcony. Wind rushed past her. Her armor glowed. Her blade vibrated in her hand. The drone hovered behind her, its voice shaking. "They are not here to kill you. They are here to follow." Raya stared down at them. "Why?" she asked. "You activated the tower," the drone said. "You carry the mark of survival. They see you as the chosen, the leader of the next trial." Raya's heart pounded. "No," she whispered. "I didn't come here to lead them. I came here to go home." But deep down, she knew. Home had changed, and maybe, so had she. The real enemy, the sky turned dark. Not from nightfall, but from the rising black storm. Above the alien desert, clouds spun in unnatural circles. Lightning cracked in silence. No thunder, no rain, just light and shadows. Raya stood at the top of the tower, wrapped in armor that wasn't built for humans. Yet somehow, it fit her perfectly. Beneath her, the creatures still waited, not attacking, not moving, just watching her, like followers watching a queen they didn't choose but would die for. She turned to the drone. "What are they waiting for?" "Command," it replied. "They are bound to the one who survives the trial." "So, this was always a test?" "Not a test," the drone answered. "A selection." Raya descended from the tower. As her boots touched the sand, the creatures backed away. One, the same tall alien she had fought days ago, stepped forward and dropped to one knee. Then it spoke again, not with its mouth but through her drone. "You carry the voice of Fireblood, we listen now." Raya looked into its eyes. No hate, just memory. "What are you?" she asked. "Why were you hunting me?" "We hunt the weak, we follow the strong." "Why?" "Because they always come, fire-blooded, hungry, greedy, destroyers." Raya understood. They weren't talking about her. They were talking about humans. That night she lit no fire. She sat alone, her blade stuck in the ground beside her, armor glowing softly. The wind screamed in the distance. The drone played a message, one recorded from the tower's logs. Captain Radek mission log, day 4. Contact confirmed. Native species is primitive but responsive to fear. The tower tech is unlike anything we've seen. If we control it, we control the planet. I'll deal with the crew later, including Raya. Her body froze. She replayed it. Then again. I'll deal with the crew later, including Raya. He planned it, she whispered. He planned to leave me behind. The drone confirmed it. Captain's authorization logs match. Extraction order was fake. You were listed as lost in crash. No rescue code sent. Rage filled her chest. Not hot, loud rage. Cold. Clear. Controlled. She stood up. He didn't leave me behind, she said. He tried to bury me. The creatures, her followers now, helped her. They showed her the paths hidden beneath the sand, tunnels, old ruins, broken tech from the last humans who came and never left. One ruin had power still. Inside she found a map, not of the desert and of the stars, routes, signals, locations of other towers, but only one was still active, hers. This place is one of many, she said. The drone confirmed it. Humans only discovered this one. Others remain hidden, but one thing on the map caught her eye. A small blinking signal moving fast, headed back toward the planet. A ship. The crew is coming back? She asked. Not the crew, the drone replied. Just one ship. High-level clearance. Looks like a command vessel. Raya stared at the signal. He's coming back to finish what he started. The next morning, the ship landed far across the desert. Raya watched it from a cliff, hidden behind a visor in her alien helmet. Her armor now fully synced with her body. Her blade sharpened, her mind focused. 2 dropships exited from the command craft. Mercenaries. Not her crew. Killers. They scanned the area looking for signals. Not to rescue, not to study, to clean up. Raya's drone caught part of a transmission. We confirm energy surge. Target may be alive. Orders are clear. Eliminate her. Recover the tower data. No witnesses. So that's it, she said softly. Erase me. Erase the truth. She didn't attack them right away. She watched, listened, studied their weapons, their patrols, their weakness. At night, she moved like a shadow, disabling their sensors, confusing their systems, leading them into dead zones where the creatures could pick them off one by one. But she left one man alive. A young tech officer, separated from the group. She knocked him out, dragged him to an old ruin, and waited for him to wake. When he did, he screamed. Relax, she said, stepping out of the dark. If I wanted you dead, you'd be buried already. You're alive. Yeah. Shocking, right? She said. Tell me what the captain's plan is and you walk free. He hesitated. Then he broke. He found out what the tower really is. He wants to sell it. The data, the tech, everything. There's a buyer. High-level buyer. He doesn't want survivors. You were the only one who knew too much. And now? Now he knows you're alive. He's sending a full team next. You have maybe a day. Raya stared at the sand. Then, I have a day now to end this. She sent a signal from the tower that night, encrypted fast, hidden between weather waves, to Earth, to the public net. Everything, every lie, every betrayal, every word of the captain's own logs. And as it uploaded, she looked into the sky and whispered, "Let's see how brave he is and when the whole galaxy's watching." Human rage, the message was sent. Raya had exposed the truth, her captain's betrayal. The hidden alien tower. The creatures who weren't monsters, but survivors, just like her. Somewhere on Earth, people were waking up to her voice. Maybe no one believed it yet. Maybe they would ignore it. But it didn't matter. He knew now. He knew she was alive. Dawn painted the desert blood red. Raya stood on the ridge looking down at the black ship that had landed 2 nights ago. It crouched like a predator, half hidden under solar netting. Figures moved around it. Soldiers, machines, scanners. Not a rescue team. Not explorers. Cleanup crew. The captain had sent a dozen mercenaries to silence one woman. He'd made a mistake. She was no longer just a woman. She was part of the planet now, part of the tower, and the desert had made her into something he couldn't control. That morning, she struck. Not from the front, from the sand. Using tunnels the creatures showed her, she emerged behind enemy lines, near their comms tent. Her armor bent light, making her almost invisible. Her blade vibrated softly. Hungry. Alive. 3 guards outside. She moved like smoke. The first didn't scream. Throat cut, dropped into shadow. The second turned just in time to see her eyes before the blade took him. The third raised his gun too slow. Raya disarmed him, shattered his knee, then placed her boot on his chest. "Where's Captain Radek?" she asked. He spat. "He's coming, and he's bringing the storm with him." "I am the storm," she said, and left him breathing, just long enough for his comms to pick up his final message. She returned to the ruins. The creatures waited, silent, watching. Some carried crude weapons, others just claws and rage. All of them were ready. Raya looked at them. "He's coming for the tower," she said. "He wants to erase all of this. Again." They didn't respond with words. They just knelt. "No more hiding," she whispered. "We end it now." The drone hovered close. Final ship approaches. Eta. 7 hours. High orbit. Heavy weapons. Crew of 23, including Captain Radek. 23 against me? Raya asked. "No," the drone replied. 23 against you, and the desert. By sunset, the sand itself was a weapon. Raya and the creatures laid traps, buried heat mines from old human camps, rigged power coils to explode under pressure, created false heat signatures to confuse scans. They weren't just defending. They were preparing for a war. When the captain's ship dropped into the lower atmosphere, the desert welcomed it with silence. No resistance. No signs of life. Just dust and shadow. The dropships landed in a crescent pattern around the tower ruins. Mercs moved in teams, already scanning, shouting, armed to the teeth. Then the ground opened. Sand collapsed beneath them, revealing spike pits. Explosions tore through the air as mines ignited. Creatures burst from the rocks, striking fast, vanishing just as quickly. Screams. Confusion. Gunfire echoing off dead stone. And, above it all on the tower, Raya stood like a ghost. Captain Radek arrived last. Calm. Polished. Clean armor. Eyes hidden behind black visors. "Find her," he ordered. "Kill everything else." He hadn't changed, but Raya had, and he was about to find out what she had become. He stepped into the ruins with 4 elite guards. Raya watched them from the shadows, her heart steady. Her breathing slow. She whispered to the drone, "Split the signal now." A loud ping echoed through the captain's earpiece. His visor flickered. Then a voice played. His own voice. "If she survives, terminate her. No witnesses. We'll blame the crash, say the creatures killed her. The tower tech is worth more than her life." His own men heard it. One of them stopped walking. Another lowered his rifle. "What is this?" one asked. "Lies," Radek said quickly. "Hacked feed." "Is it?" The third soldier turned. Too late. Raya dropped from above, silent as a falling star. She landed behind them, blade flashing. 2 men fell before they even turned. The third dropped his rifle, stepped back and ran. Radek faced her alone. "You survived," he said, almost impressed. "No," Raya answered, stepping forward, blade ready. "I was reborn. The fight wasn't like in the movies. It was dirty, brutal. Radek was strong, trained, and ruthless, but he didn't know the armor. He didn't understand the blade, and he didn't know the rage boiling inside her chest. They fought in silence. Metal against bone, punches that cracked walls, kicks that shattered stone. But in the end, it wasn't the suit or the blade that gave Raya the edge. It was the truth, and he had nothing to stand on. She stood over him, chest heaving. He was bleeding, beaten, but still breathing. "You were supposed to die," he said. "No one would have cared. No one did care." Raya leaned in close. "You're wrong," she said. "The desert cared, the tower cared, and now, the whole galaxy cares." She stepped back, Let the creatures surround him. They didn't touch him, not yet. Raya turned away. Bury him, she told them. Not in sand, in silence. That night, she climbed the tower one last time. The stars were brighter now, clear. The signal to Earth was still strong. She stood beneath the twin moons, watching them rise like eyes. The drone hovered beside her. What now? It asked. She smiled, faintly. Now we rebuild. Here? Everywhere. And the tower? She placed her hand on the control panel. We send one more message, she said. To who? Raya looked out into the stars. To anyone who ever thought a human couldn't survive. Message from the sand. The tower no longer whispered. It roared. Raya stood inside the heart of the alien structure, armor glowing, hands on the control panels. The energy core, the swirling star trapped in rings of metal, pulsed faster now, responding to her presence. The message she had sent across space had been more than a warning. It had been a signal, and someone, something, was listening, outside. The desert was silent again. Captain Radek was gone. His ship, his men, his orders, all buried in the sand or lost to panic and betrayal. The creatures had returned to the shadows, their eyes watching from afar, their loyalty still bound to the one who survived the tower's trial. But Raya wasn't just surviving now, she was awakening. The drone hovered near her, buzzing softly. You've triggered the deep protocol, it said. A beacon signal has left the system. Who will receive it? Raya asked. Unknown. The tower network was built long before humanity. So now they know I exist. Yes, and now? They are coming. Days passed. The galaxy shifted. On Earth, Raya's broadcasts spread like wildfire. It was picked up by rogue networks, hacked news streams, underground truth channels. Her voice, calm but sharp, played on every corner of the net. They tried to kill me. Not the aliens, my own people. They wanted to erase me, because I found the truth. We were not the first, and we're not the strongest. We think we own the stars, but out here we are still children, and the stars are older than our lies. People listened. Some refused to believe. Others started to question. And in secret rooms, powerful men and women began to panic. Raya remained on the planet, not because she couldn't leave, because she wasn't ready to. The tower was still talking, to her, not in words, but in visions, memories, images fed into her mind every time she touched its core. She saw ancient battles, tower networks activating across galaxies, human ships discovering ruins, and vanishing. It had all happened before, and it would happen again, unless she changed the pattern. One morning, the drone detected movement from orbit. Ship approaching. Not human. Raya walked to the edge of the cliff. A shadow moved across. The sky, massive, silent, shaped like a giant crescent, not a warship. Something older. Something smoother. It didn't attack. It landed and waited. Raya approached alone. The air was thick with static. A door opened, slow and quiet. From the dark stepped a figure, not like the desert creatures, taller, thinner, skin like pearl stone, 6 eyes, 2 mouths, no visible weapons. It looked at her with a calm she couldn't read. Then it spoke, not through her drone but directly into her mind. You called. We heard. You carry the flame. What flame? She asked aloud. The one your kind stole, the one they buried. You woke the tower. You passed the trial. And now, you have made a choice. What choice? To speak when others are silent. To stand when others kneel. To warn your kind. Or to lead them. Raya's heart raced. Are you the ones who built this? No, we survived it like you. Why are you here now? Because you did something rare, you told the truth, and the sand remembered. Raya looked back toward the tower, its light still pulsed. But softer now. Steady, like a heartbeat. So what happens now? She asked. The alien stepped forward. Now the galaxy answers your message, and not all voices will be kind. Don't care. You will. The alien ship left before nightfall, leaving only silence behind. But it had given her something. A small sphere, floating around her like a moon. Inside was knowledge, a path, a warning, and one last message. This planet chose you. The tower chose you. The galaxy will test you. As the stars returned to the sky, Raya sat on a stone overlooking the desert. The creatures stayed near like shadows waiting for orders. The drone floated quietly beside her. You've changed everything, it said. No, Raya whispered. I just told the truth. And somewhere far away, another tower lit up. A signal echoed across stars, and a voice unknown and ancient spoke from deep space. Human identified, signal received, candidate accepted. She survived, and now she's coming back. The day had no sun. Thick black clouds hovered over the alien desert, but no storm came. The sand stood still, as if the planet itself was holding its breath. Raya walked alone across the ridge, her silhouette sharp against the broken horizon. Behind her, the creatures she once feared now waited in respectful silence. Ahead of her, the gate ship, ancient, circular, humming with low energy, hovered just above the ground. She wasn't returning to Earth as a soldier. She wasn't returning as a survivor. She was returning as a signal, and no one on Earth was ready for what that meant. Inside the ship, the halls were quiet. Smooth walls pulsed with soft light, reading her presence, adjusting to her shape. Her armor had fused with her over time. No longer just protection, it was part of her. Her mind moved faster. Her instincts were sharper. Her fear was gone, burned away by betrayal and rebirth. The drone hovered beside her, upgraded now, linked directly to the ship's systems. Are you sure about this? It asked. Raya didn't answer at first. Then calmly, they need to see me. They tried to kill you. I know. They will try again. Let them try. The ship didn't move through space in the way human ships did. It folded, bent, reality like paper, slipped through the cracks of known coordinates. No star lines, no hyperspeed, just silence. And then, suddenly, Earth. Blue. Green. Too bright. Raya watched the planet from orbit. The towers on the surface hadn't changed. The cities still glowed like veins. But now, she saw it differently. A world sleeping under lies. Her broadcast had shaken the system. Governments denied everything. Officials labeled her as a rogue agent, a victim of deep space trauma. But the people had listened. As her ship entered the atmosphere, Earth's defense grid responded. 12 human interceptors launched. Unidentified vessel, reduce speed and alter course immediately. You are entering restricted orbit. Raya stood at the ship's console. Connect me to public net, she said. Done, the drone confirmed. She spoke calmly, clearly. This is Raya Halden, identification code Delta 415, former tactical officer Earth Fleet Recon Team 7, betrayed, left behind, presumed dead. I'm coming home. With the truth you tried to bury. I have tower data, genetic scans, video logs, and the body of a captain who tried to erase me. You want silence? Too late. The galaxy already heard me, and now they're watching. Her voice broke the net. It hijacked satellites, corporate feeds, even public billboards. Millions saw her face, scarred, hardened, alive. No longer the quiet officer who followed orders. Now something else. A warning. A weapon. A witness. The interceptors didn't fire. Instead, one pilot whispered over comms. Ma'am, is it true? About the towers? Raya didn't smile. You already know the answer. A long pause. Then, I'm turning my ship around. One by one, the others followed. She landed not at the central port, but at the ruins of an old base long abandoned, one where she once trained. The place where she'd first learned loyalty. Where she'd first believed that orders were sacred, how far she'd come. Officials tried to contain her landing zone. Too slow. By the time the enforcers arrived, thousands had already gathered, drawn by her signal, Reporters, rebels, ex-military. Families of the crew who'd gone missing on past missions and never came back. They saw her exit the ship, flanked by alien shadows. They didn't run. They stood and watched. Listened. Raya spoke only once. I was left to die. Not by an alien species, not by the planet, by my own command. But the desert taught me something. Survival isn't luck, it's truth, and truth has teeth. The tower signal was still echoing across the galaxy. Alien responses were increasing. Some peaceful, others not. Humanity was now exposed, known. There was no going back. But maybe, just maybe, there was a way forward. Not through control, but through change. Raya sat alone that night on a rooftop overlooking the capital. The drone hovered beside her, silent. You should rest, it said. No time. They'll come for you. I hope they do. You're not afraid? She looked up at the stars. Somewhere out there, another tower had awakened. Another trial had begun. I'm not afraid, she whispered. I'm human. And for the first time in centuries, the galaxy whispered back, we know,